Welcome to 10 Sports coverage of the knockout first semi-final. Central District versus the Bays. Down goes the ball by umpire Abbott as the ball goes to the half-forward line. Out there quickly is Mansell. The Bays kicking into the breeze in the first quarter, and it's pretty strong, the breeze. Not as strong as it was yesterday. The umbrellas go up at Footy Park. Bad luck for the crowd of about 24,000 people. Quickly McDermott slips out a handball, back to Stringer, Alan Stringer, around the corner, coming to meet it. Oh, Sullivan. I think a Glenelg player may have been called out there in Butterick. Sullivan puts it back up towards Thomas. Almost a good mark, couldn't quite complete it. Graham, well done. The Dogs into attack, out towards the half-forward flank. Getting back on it now for the Bays is Seabohm. Seabohm goes for the safety of the line. Out there getting to it first is the Bickler, but can't keep it in play, and it'll be a ball in on the half-forward right flank.
Ian, there's a multitude of changes to the selected teams again. I'll go through them as I can. Ross Gibbs is in the forward pocket, meaning Salisbury in the back pocket, which was predictable. And Schwert seems to be tagging David Marshall on the wing.
Graham kicker it was, tried to get the ball out. He did to Thomas. In turn, Central District go forward through Schwert. A high ball, Rudy Manamaker's under it. Snubikler gobbled that one up pretty easily. The wind has turned that ball almost at right angles, and it's gone out of bounds again on the outer side of the ground. We're going to see it out there a fair bit today, undoubtedly.
It would appear too, Pete, Gurdon's playing on a half-back flank, not a position is customary to him.
Keith Allen at centre-half forward too for the Dogs. Peter Carey pulls it back brilliantly to Alan Stringer. Well, the kick just didn't work at all. Kickett couldn't pick the ball up. Stringer's gone again. Kick off the ground. Gurdon threw the ball out. Thomas now. Quick kick away and a long kick. Butner's the man behind. Manamaker's in the middle of the pack. That was well done by Russell as he thumped the ball through. First score of the day at the 2-minute mark. The Central District side have got a point.
The only way to go for the Bays was for a solid thump of the ball, and it went straight through for the first score of the game.
Russell boots the ball back into play to the outer side, reading it well as Alan Stringer comes back, or has come down from centre into the back line to take the kick in. Third touch already, the first 2 minutes, as he edges the ball towards centre wing. It's dropping short. Out there quickly going through and doing it well was McDermott, slips it over. That's good play. Oh, Mansell missed his teammate, finally got it back to Hewitt, coming to meet it. Lee did that beautifully. Hodgman ran him down, but he got a kick of sorts away. Van Dommel gets it out to Casper McAdam. He puts it on his way up towards full forward, getting back on it. Is the Bickler, dropped the sitter. Graham puts it back. Chaplin dodges, twists, snaps across the face of goal, and it's out on the full.
Oh boy, Ian, has that left John Sneebickler off the hook? That was a compulsory mark to take unopposed. 5 metres out from goal from a long kick from McAdam, but he muffed it, and Gavin Chaplin, normally a sharpshooter for goal, missed the goals well by a country mile.
No doubt too that Neil Curley has given big Richard Lounder the job to do on Peter Carey, and I understand he doesn't mind that challenge either. Gee, a big leap over the top. Schwert got a quick kick away of sorts, and he's held that one. And the umpire's going to give him a 30-metre penalty as Rudy Manamaker comes back. I don't think he's too fit, Rudy Manamaker, but we'll see that a little bit later in the game, I guess. Lounder, Carey, the ball swivels around in the air there. Quick kick away, Van Dommel. The man in front is Chaplin. Oh, he caught one. It was a good grab, though. He's going to play it on. Centres the ball. Oh, they're throwing the ball around a bit. You can kick a goal from there. If any man can, this man can.
Going on his last kick, Pete, it went good 65 metres, that torpedo punt. Let's see if he can do it again.
He doesn't mind the screw punt, but it was a drop punt on that occasion. That is going to be a point, though. So are we going to see similar inaccuracy today that we saw yesterday?
As I said before, Peter, I don't believe the breeze is as strong as yesterday. That was a soul-destroying breeze, very hard for the players. As a spectacle, it was nothing for the spectators. Maynard wants to break. Russell kicks into the outer side. Coming to meet it, doing it well, Thomas. Well, if he tries his screw punt this time, he might make the distance. In fact, he could make it with a drop punt. Wind assisted.
Ian, might I say, he must go for the screwy.
Well, the first one he kicked, Graham, was so long and so straight, you'd think that he'd be buoyed up by that. It's his third kick. He's gone for the drop punt again, and he's pushed it offline. 3 points. And we're seeing the Dogs do exactly the same as the Magpies did yesterday, kick inaccurately in the first quarter when going with the breeze.
Well, why I said he must go for a screw punt, it's asking a lot for a drop punt to carry that far and with accuracy. A screw punt can just, well, screw with the breeze, obviously, and come in. But no, not to be.
Russell's gone short to Stringer. Stringer couldn't mark the ball. Chaplin intervenes, and he did it pretty well. There's 1 against 2 there. So we're 5 minutes into this first quarter.
And Peter, straight away, it's a different Gavin Chaplin to last week. He could hardly move. He was immobilised last week, but this week he's on. Oh, he seems to be sharp.
Yes, Chaplin and Lally pretty important to the Dogs, and so is this man Richard Lounder. That was a good effort as he back screws that ball through for a point. What a kick that was. I don't think it was a manufactured kick. It just sort of happened.
It might be called an inverted torpedo punt.
The knockout first semi-final. The loser of today's game history. The winner goes on to meet Nord, who lost to Port Adelaide yesterday in the second semi-final. Graham off the fingers. Glenelg can't quite get there, brings it back infield. Kick at a chance, meets Carey, does it well, whips out a long handball. Van Dommel on the left leg, it's going to drop short. Getting back on it, well played Marshall. Allowed Stringer to come through. Looked for the free kick, the umpire didn't get it. Swirt gives away the handball. Back towards Thomas. The handball away wasn't good. Swirt under pressure. In goes Gurdon. Throws out the football. But umpire John Hilton officiating this afternoon with Mike Lavett, will come in on bounce on the half-forward left flank for the Bays.
4 points to the Dogs, and they really need to build up a big lead in this first quarter to have any chance in this game as McDermott gets one clear. Brady didn't mark the ball, but the umpire paid him a free kick. That could be a little bit dangerous, but the kick was good to Lally. Now the handball to kick it. What can he do with this? He might win a free kick the way he's going. Oh, he got through that pretty well. How about that? But a point only. So the Dogs have got 5 points in quick time. They need goals. We're 7 minutes into this first quarter.
Gary Kickett's showing a bit of the magic we come to expect of him. Just couldn't line that ball up, as most of his teammates have been unable to do so far, and the Dogs really are kicking the game away at this point in time.
It's the Bickler. Carey sets himself, took a high tackle. The umpire sees it that way. Now they're just getting a little too enthusiastic with his attempt to spoil from behind. And Big Super taking all the time that he can because it's seconds tick away, although the umpire might have whistled time off. Super Carey. A lot depends on the shoulders of the veteran. Peter Carey, an amazing 445 games. He's edged the ball out of defence. It's taken there by Hewitt. The Bays will take their time kicking into the breeze. It's going to be a long quarter for them. And already the Dogs are showing their hand by kicking, or their paw, you might say, by kicking 5 points. Going through Brady. Can't quite get there, and the ball is out of play at centre wing.
I can't work this out, but Ross Gibbs seems to be on the ball at the moment, and so, oh no, he's gone back to his customary position in the forward pocket, but he was upfield a few moments ago, appearing to be on the ball.
He doesn't mind covering a bit of territory, the old Roscoe Gibbs. Good handball out. The Bays into attack now through Mansell. This is as far as they've been. Botka's in front of Melican, and there was a push in the back as well. So Botka has won the first duel between he and Melican. Botka kicks as long as he can, gets good distance. In comes big Richard Lounder. Smash, bang. But the man in front was Hewitt. That's a good mark. It's 2 he's taken. Back goes Craig Butterick. Now Hewitt might put it in his direction. Butterick now moving across towards the scoring board. Yes, he's the target. And he finds him. So Butterick won't kick a goal from there, but the Bays have got a chance now. And if they kicked a goal before Central District did, Kickett comes across. Oh, good mark. Good interception. He really read that well.
Kickett comes out wide. Chaplin, the running par further afield is Lee if he can get it to him. Chapman ducks round the other way. Gets it out now to Thomas. Gave it to a rather surprised Van Dommel. Kicks long, and that is a long kick. Out comes Mandamaker. Can't quite. Lee makes a drive at the ball. Gets it, taps it cleverly over. Here's a chance. Lally caught on the left leg. Hooks around the corner. Big Super Carey lumbers back in defence. With him is Bubner. Takes the ball off him. Keeps it in play, or does he? The umpire said yes. Hooks it back in towards Allen. Well done, Peter Bubner. And Keith Allen has a chance from 20 metres out.
Yeah, and that was pure athleticism by Bubner. A, catching Carey in the first instance, and B, keeping the ball in play and getting it back to Keith Allen. It's great stuff by Peter Bubner, and that's the sort of work that Coach Neil Curley would be searching for to counter the immaculate skills of some of the Bay players.
Keith Allen, first kick, only a 15-game player, but I think he's missed. Well, that's a bad miss. The Dogs have got a goal, but unfortunately it's come all in points. They're 6 at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. It is a reflection, of course, of the swirly wind. Even though the Dogs are kicking with it, it doesn't help a lot if you can't line them up. And so far we've seen 6 behinds from 6 kicks. And I can't believe this, Ian, this conglomeration of people for the kick-in.
Russell seemed to have copped a little bit of an injury in that last exchange as he boots it out to Glenelg. Glenelg in turn brings it back towards Maynard, but it's cut off by Girdham. Girdham is going to get a free kick. It was there. I think Mansell really had to apply the tackle then because Girdham had control of the ball. Now this is where the Dogs are falling down. They just can't get a clear kick at goal, but they might now. No, Rudy Vandermaker couldn't mark it. Well, they are making errors aplenty. Schwert, McDermott, Marshall, quick kick away, and Maynard. Maynard comes into the action for the first time today. 6 points to nothing. 11 minutes first quarter. Central District kicking their chances away. Butterick's in front, the punch.
The Bays are happy just to have that ball out of play, as Coach Corns would be reasonably happy with the first quarter effort.
I think he'd be ecstatic, Ian. Really, it is quite extraordinarily just completely and utterly fallen the Bays' way. Central District kicked 9 points, lost confidence. Now the Bays are controlling it. Lally, caught Cole, holding the ball, so Alan Stringer will get another kick. And they'll take plenty of time. 26 minutes, first quarter. Central District might go in at quarter time up. If the Bays don't kick another goal, that is. Which is not beyond the realms of possibilities.
Obviously, Maynard looks like he's got a shin problem. The way that he limped off, you thought it was an ankle, but the eye seems to have gone onto the shin, and he's sitting in the bunker, and it looks grim. However, McTavish is on. He's a mobile man. Brady gets it back to lead, tumbles a punt kick. Here's a chance, Chaplin. The Dogs a chance to go into attack now. Vandermaker charges to meet the ball. He's got this one. Beautifully put. Nothing that Russell could do to cut that pass off. It was a little floater, but it was put so accurately that Vandermaker just charged to meet it and did it well 40 metres out.
Now the trick is, Ian, he simply has to kick it. He's got to lift the flagging spirits of his teammates, and really they are at an all-time low at the moment.
You're not wrong. 40 out, wind assisted, kick underway, and they've missed again. Umpire Marsland says 1 point only, and the Dogs are into double figures, and they're all points.
I'd have to say it was a perfect kick, really was. The wind just didn't grab it. I wouldn't blame Rudy Vandermaker one bit for not finally getting the ball through, because he allowed for the breeze, which unaccountably just hung there and just made the ball go the other side of the post. They really are not meant to kick a goal this quarter.
And so far in the finals, Glenelg have played against sides that can't kick goals, and that means you can't lose. It's as simple as that. Ross Gibbs, a long kick to the outer side of the ground, and a good effort in there. No mark paid though. The umpire will bounce that. 10 points to 6 points, 10 scoring shots to 1. Nearly 28 minutes gone now. Surely we'll see the siren go before another score. Richard Lounder tries to tap it down to Chaplin. Schwert got a handball out. Graham's under that. Over the top it goes. Here's a chance. Don't tell me they had a kick one from there. They have. Chaplin, prior it was. It's in fact, Neil Curley may have let him come down to have a bit of a look at Gibbs, or perhaps he's on a wing. 110 the Dogs, Glenelg a goal.
There's no question, Pete. He went to a wing. When McAdam went to the forward line and was picked up by Salisbury, Pryor covered the wing position vacated by McAdam. He's playing on the wing just at this moment, and he picked up that loose ball and didn't miss, which we all thought he would. Amazingly, when you think a guy won't kick a goal, that's when he pops up with the answer to your problems. Well, Dogs got a goal. Is that enough, though?
The Dogs by 10 points, 29 minutes gone. Pryor, an erstwhile defender playing at centre wing, had to come up and show the forwards how to do it. Stringer concedes back to Grenvold, put him under pressure. Back out now to Wayne Stringer. He goes once again to the safety of the line, and that's where the ball will end. Siren sounds. First quarter, the Dogs are 110. The Bays a goal, and they've got a huge platform for the second quarter.
Start of the second quarter here at Football Park. The Dogs leading by 10 points. And they're all points. The tap down from the centre sees Seabohm come in. The Bays have got the breeze now as Alan Stringer gets a quick kick forward. Coming out of the pocket, Hodgman. He was responsible for the Bays goal in that first quarter with a brilliant tap back to Hewitt. It's out of bounds, left full forward pocket for the Bays.
Peter, I was going to chip in when you said they're leading by 10 points. That's called leading by 10 points the hard way. Really, 110 to 1 goal.
Yes, the Bays have got a bit of a break in this game, it would appear, but we saw what happened yesterday. Norwood went with the breeze in the second quarter and they laboured. So Central District will certainly try and keep it out this quarter as much as the Bays did in the first quarter.
The Dogs had 11 scoring shots, yet they only lead by 10 points. Now, if the Bays have as many scoring shots, surely they'll be leading by more than 10 points at half-time. At the throw-in, West trying to hook it back. McAdam, dummy to handball, puts up the short one for Girdham, half-back line. Well, gave it to Brady, who never really in a position to receive it. They've run themselves into a snooker. Now Van Dommel puts it back up towards centre wing. Carey edges out. Boy, paid the mark. The little shove was there against Allen, but Carey's experience to the fore. Kick number 5 as he tumbles a punt kick. It's going to be lucky. Oh, West dropped the setup, gets it over to Hewitt. Hewitt puts it up now out towards full forward. Coming to meet it up there was Big Melican. He can't get there. Ball comes out, loose ball. Pryor, Swirt, gets it back there now to Sullivan and Pryor. Quickly Van Dommel puts it back. Stringer in the van and he takes the mark, the attack side of the centre line. Now he's got Gibbs way out wide. He's got Butterick loose. He's going to give Butterick. Melican's going to come across and cut him off. Can't quite get it. Butterick was grabbed, didn't have the footy. Quickly in goes Botka. The umpire will come in and ball it up right in front of the Glenelg goal.
2 minutes, second quarter. The Dogs 1-10, Glenelg 1 goal. The Bays going with the breeze this time. The quick kick from Van Dommel found Ross Gibbs. He's playing in the forward pocket for the second quarter in succession. If anyone can kick it, he can. Fifth kick, and there's a goal. It's that simple. The Bays are on a roll. They're 2 goals. The Dogs 1-10.
Well, it was always on the Ross Gibbs who kicked that goal, I might add. I don't want to be smart about that, but Ross Gibbs is one of those freakish players that can really read a breeze and knows what it's all about when he gets hold of the ball, and it really has been a lesson in, I guess, tactics with Ross Gibbs. He played loose man in the back line the last 15 minutes of this quarter, goes back to the forward line, kicks their second goal.
The Dogs by 4 points. The bounce is not a good one. The umpire will recall it. Umpire John Hilton. With him this afternoon is Michael Abbott. Hilton has umpired 17 finals games. Michael Abbott has umpired just 1, and that was earlier in the final series this year. 2 goals, plays 1-10. Back at the centre bounce. Bubner thumps the ball, but it's straight towards Stringer. He can't pick it up at centre wing. Thomas came over the top, and the umpire will ball it up almost back in the centre circle again. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter, and the Bays have narrowed the deficit to 4 points.
Carey got the tap away to give the run of the ball to Grenvald. Thought it was a push in the back, but the umpire was close to it, and now he's going to bounce it.
Good umpiring, Pete. He went for a dive, David Grenvald, then. I thought that anyhow. I thought he went for a dive, and the umpire didn't fall for it.
A lot of umpires do. The thump by Bubner, not to advantage. Comes out now towards Kickett and McAdam and Thomas. Gee, the Dogs have gone forward. Stranger things have happened. Through it goes toward Dennis Russell. Eddie Hocking showed a lot of courage then to put the body in. Now Schneebichler, who's not moving like a winner out there. And the ball will be bounced left half forward line for the Dogs.
Yes, Eddie Hocking on the ground, Pete, for his first touch of play, and he really did put in then.
Carey. Well, there's one over the shoulder, and it'll go to Peter Carey against Keith Allen. So Super Carey's got the ball, and he's changing direction to Alan Stringer. The kick wasn't really far enough. The Stringer handball, though, gives Wayne Stringer the big chance, and his kick's a bit of a wobbly one. Girdham charged his arm and will pay for it. That's holding the ball. The umpire said play on. Now McAdam. It's a 5-metre kick. Lally plays on. I think he might have had to. Salisbury easily. Loves those. Straight to him.
Salisbury on the half-back line. Kick number 4. At least the Bays are coming the right side. That's the grandstand side, looking for West. Girdham the crumbs. fighting his own man. Bubner gets it back from Girdham. Now the tall one kicks long up towards full forward. Manamaker out there, can't quite. Here's a chance, Graham. He'll need running support. Manamaker wants it. He can't beat the tackle of McTavish. Well done. Manamaker puts it on its way. It's coming back. Brilliantly goal! The Dogs have done it into the breeze. Brilliantly done. 2-10 to 2 goals on 10 Sports Action.
Oh, what a goal to Rudy Manamaker. It really was an educated kick by Rudy. He knew what it was all about once he got possession. That's been his problem, of course. In this first 35 minutes of football, he hasn't been able to get the ball, except for that one time he got a nice pass upfield. But that was a great goal by Rudy Manamaker. He kicked it where other players wouldn't have, and that's a much-needed goal by Central. They lead by that goal 10 points the hard way again.
Is it ever? 12 scoring shots to 2. And the Dogs up by 10 points. Bubner again over the top. Be plenty of action in there. A lot of hard body work. And we'll see another bounce down. Umpire Michael Abbott, who has umpired a final. Last week, I think, was his first. Bubner again over the top of Peter Carey. He certainly outleaps the veteran. You would expect that. But the veteran certainly knows what to do tactically. There's a good interception by Alan Stringer. McDermott chances the arm. Brady, can he get the ball out? He does. Gee, a lot of hard body work out there, and that was as soft a free kick as you would ever find in a game of Australian rules football. It's a knitting class. McTavish. Brady, nowhere to go, gets caught. Now McDermott has a pop shot at goal, and he's missed. Just to the left side of the left goal post. 2-1 the Bays, Central District 2-10.
You must say we've got a game on our hands at least. The Bulldogs kicking that goal into the breeze certainly has given life to this game, because one thought it might be a procession of goals for the Bays. Hasn't turned out that way so far.
Botka to the outer side, or Sullivan into the back of McDermott, and that's the way the umpire will rule. McDermott might be beyond his distance. He's wind assisted, but it's more cross than back on. McDermott wants one of the two players off his mark. Well, he's not going to get one. He's going to have to go back and kick it in longer. Off goes Melican. Butterick in short, but he puts it up for grabs. He's certainly going to give Melican a chance. West in front. Melican over the top, and the big fellow's got it. Well, it was always on. In the end, he had very little competition in going for the mark. And he's a huge man, 196 centimetres. And that's a half a metre start on most of the players around him.
I pose the question again, can he kick it from there?
We'll soon know, Graham. He's only 15 metres right out in front, and a few of the opposition had trouble. Melican's left foot kick is nailed. No worries about that one at all. He's got his first. The Bays 3-1. The Dogs 2-10 on 10 Sports Action.
And there's the big difference in today's football game. The Bays can certainly kick a goal when it's meant to be kicked. And that means with the breeze, you simply must nail them when you get the opportunity. I mean, this breeze, as we said yesterday, talking about what you talk about breezes, is a 10-kick breeze, 10-shot breeze, I should say. And certainly they will manufacture that. And the Glenelg team will certainly kick more goals than the Bulldogs did, given the same opportunities.
3-1 the Bays, the Dogs 2-10, 8.5 minutes, second quarter. Carey and Bubner. Carey got that one, he pulled it back to where most of his players were standing. A quick kick by Hewitt, goes back to centre half forward. Butterick in front. Kick it with a quick handball to Schwert. Schwert is well shepherded there by Brady, who did a fine job. Snubikla chanced his arm, missed the ball completely. Grenvold got it from Seabohm. Bays seem to be coasting at the moment. James West is beaten to that ball by Schwert, who took it over the line. We'll see another throw in at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter.
Two senior coaches of the Central District Football Club, Neil Curley and Dean Mobbs, would be a little worried at the moment, if not plenty worried. The free kick's going way of the Dogs, and I would think that they're behind in free kicks. 4 plays 9, so that's not necessarily indicative, but most certainly more free kicks to the Bays. Playing in front, perhaps, Schwert. Chipping into the attack again. Allen underneath the ball. Well done, Alan Stringer, to read it. Teammate helped by pushing out the opposition. Stringer now half-back flank. Ninth kick. Also 4 handballs. Kicks long up towards the half-forward line. Brady over the top. The Dogs are starting to steady just a little bit. The Bays haven't got it all their own way at the moment. 9 minutes into the second quarter, kicking with the breeze. They're still down by 3 points. Brady. High towards centre wing. Carey's in front. Seabohm over the top. Van Dommel left it behind. Allen didn't. Puts it out wide. Kick it. He chips it half forward line. Here's a chance. Thomas heads off towards goal. Puts it out. Vandermaker on the lead. Brilliantly put. Lace out. And the full forward's got it about 45 out on a similar angle.
And what a test for him, Ian.
Well, he's going to have to take, I reckon, if he puts it up high, Graham, probably 10 metres to the right of the goal post.
What I say, he almost can't kick it from there.
Well, we've said it before, Graham. We're going to find out. That's a magnificent kick. It's right through the middle. 2 goals into the breeze by the Dogs. Both the man to maker. They fight back 3-10 to 3-1 on 10 Sports Action.
Rudy Mandamaker, I dipped my lid to you. That was a magnificently red kick. Because better kicks, or not better kicks, but I guess players have had so many shots from there over the last couple of weeks and simply haven't looked like kicking them. Mandamaker is a genius. He's picked the right channel and he's found it, well, unbelievably. And that's a great goal by Rudy Mandamaker, and it keeps the Dogs in with a silly chance.
I'm glad no money changed hands on those bets on that kick. Well, we'd all be broke. Van Dommel, good tackle by Peter Carey, I thought, but it was a push in the back according to umpire Michael Abbott. Lucky we're not umpires as well, because we're not reading the free kicks too well. Kickett is certainly directing his kicks very well. He's a real thinker, Derek Kickett. He set the last goal up. Mandamaker again, he must be confident. Scott Salisbury, back the head, couldn't get a very good kick away. Now McTavish. Russell and Mandamaker had a bit of a fly. Mansell, one of the Bay's best players. The man in front is Sullivan, and he's taken a mark. Been a good defender in recent weeks, Sullivan. The Bulldogs appear to be interested in the game this quarter, a bit more so than the first. Now Bubner, he's going to run into Peter Carey. No, he got past him as though he wasn't there. Mandamaker won't get near that ball. Went straight to Salisbury. It was a short kick if you ever saw one. He's a man in form. Renvold. No free kick after disposal there. Girdham fell over at the wrong time. Scott Lee. Girdham completely missed. Bubner dispossessed. Lally. McAdam, he'll need to be quick. Oh, he put the ball down. The umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt, and there was a big one. Now Sullivan. Whoop. He dropped the mark. Both forwards don't appear to be in the act at the moment, and Brady called Girdham out, so at least there was a bit of talking on that occasion. Who's going to get it next? Boundary umpire was a chance, but even he wasn't good enough for it.
No, the umpire's going to bring it back and give it to McTavish, I would think, at centre wing. The Bays forwards being caught out of position. The Bulldogs starting to bound just a little bit. McTavish puts it towards the half-forward line. West out in front. At the back, Gibbs. Gibbs around the corner up towards full forward. Up there is Milliken. This could bounce through. Which way will it go? Well, a huge leg break. You might say a B-grade bounce, and 1 point only to the Bays. They get to move to 3-2. The Dogs are 3-10 on 10 Sports Action.
What I say, given the luck of Ross Gibbs, I half expected that ball to bounce through them, but it didn't, and it gave the Bulldogs a pretty, well, it gave them a chance to sort of hang in there.
I thought it was a certainty when Gibbs put his boot on it. No mark taken there, but there's a trip, but I think it was his own player, so the umpire correctly called play on. Kimmy Hodgman wants a free kick, but that is sheer optimism, and the umpire is going to bounce it. A little bit of bad luck there with the Bulldog defender in Pryor, was tripped by his own player. Unintentionally, I would hope. Peter Carey tapped it straight down to Kickett. Now, Kickett is unorthodox, so you can expect anything with this passage of play. He's bounced the ball through centre, and he's set it up for Gilbert McAdam. Now, expect anything here as well. He's kicked it straight to Russell. So the Bays have got the game set up on the grandstand side, but Lally cuts them off. Did it well. Scott Lee. Graham wants it. So does Rudy Mandamaker. The big chap comes in late, and he got hit badly. In the head, unintentionally, and the Bays are going to get away with it. Mansell. Well, they had a big chance in the Dogs, but they couldn't do enough with it. Now Gibbs will come out and be right in the van for that, but can't mark it. Away goes Van Dommel and Chris McDermott. Van Dommel's right with him. Schwert comes across. McDermott played it well. Now Milliken. Marshall gets through. He had Peter Carey, and he's kicked the goal. The Bays have got 4-2 now. The Dogs 3-10 on 10 Sports Action.
Well, you saw David Marshall's skills on display then. He hooked the ball back, And I guess you could say he would say anyhow, he allowed for the breeze, and it certainly picked up the ball and went through, and that's what makes, I guess, football teams tick over. The goal that the other sides can't kick, and certainly Central had plenty of chances the first quarter. They couldn't do it. David Master showed them how that time. That's his first, and the Bay's fourth.
At the bounce, it's the Dogs by 2 points. 15 minutes gone, second quarter. Bubner against Carey. Thomas is unloaded. Quickly in there, it looks to be Pryor on the ball. Out comes McTavish with a footy. Smothered off the boot. Kick it back against the tide. Well done, Brady. Has to unload it. Mansell through. McDermott will want support. Fade beautifully. Gets it back. McTavish puts it out wide. Here's a chance. Hodgman's got it. Thought about running on. But with the wind at his back, we'll go back and have a shot at the woodwork. Kim Hodgman. 207 games, plus another 100 in the VFL. A very experienced young fellow. Suppose you could call him young as he put that one through. I think he has. Hodgman's bottled it. Great kick. The Bays hit the front at Footy Park. 5-2. Lead the Dogs 3-10 on 10 Sports Action.
Certainly, Ian Day, you and I can call him young. Maybe Peter Marker couldn't. He played with him. He's a contemporary of Kim Hodgman. He told me off camera he would kick that goal, and he certainly did. But I said to Peter, say it on air, but he said, no, I better not. And there it is. Great goal by Kimmy Hodgman. He certainly is a man who knows what the goals are. And that's his first and the Bay's fifth.
13 scoring shots to 7, and the Dogs are down by 4 points. Bubner, Carey. Oh, gee, the Dogs are pushing the ball into the Bay forward line, which is not a wise thing to do. Now kick it. Let's see if he can pick it up. And he kicks it out on the full. Some quite extraordinary things happening here today. Apart from the game of footy, that is. Over the top, Sullivan. Now Gilbert McAdam. These are not his conditions, by the way. McDermott fought pretty hard for that. Comes out the back door now to Van Dommel. He has a neat little bounce, but he'll need to keep it on this side of the ground. Snibitler comes across, the bouncing ball, and that's come out, but not on the full. So we'll see a throw in just marginally in Central District's attacking zone.
The Bays by 4 points, 17 minutes gone, second quarter. The Dogs hanging in there, and if they can keep the Bays, say, to another couple of goals in this quarter, they've still got a chance. Girdham. Carey unloads him. Stringer gets it out to his brother Wayne. He in turn puts Hewitt under the hammer. Stringer gets it back in the double play. Floats one into the half-forward line. They set West over the top. Big Mark West. He can make the distance from there. Hodgman makes the break if he wants him. But Gibbs is going to tell him to have a shot and maybe just tell him which side of the woodwork he's got to kick it. West, wind assisted. Goes in long, goes in high, and that is home. A brilliant kick by Big Jim. The Bays kick further ahead, 6-2 to 3-10 on 10 Sports Action.
Well, I've got to admit, Big Jim's been in the land of the missing. Up until that point in time, it was a great mark. I would hazard to say he's first for the game, but what a kick. Oh, gee, that was a great kick. I said Mandamakers was a good kick, and that was equally as good given the conditions. He really did thread the needle beautifully. A great goal by Jim West, and the Bays are streaking away.
Are they ever? 10 points up now. They were 10 points down at the quarter-time break. Only 18.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. Bubner still on the ball. Mansell furthers it for the Bays. Cross comes Brady. Oh, he's caught. That's as clear a holding the ball decision as you've ever seen. So you can't do that, umpire. The umpire lets the Bay side play on, and that's just a clear breach of the rules, in my view. 2 goals, Jim West. The Bays 7-2. The Dogs 3-10 on 10 Sports Action.
Peter, you called it spot on, because really you cannot run around the mark. You must come back and kick over the mark, as the rule says, unless in general play it was there anyhow, and the ball wasn't there. Jim West took the ball there, ran around the man in the mark, gave himself an easy shot for goal. Well, not an easy shot, but split the centre. Great goal by Jim West.
7-2 to 3-10, 20 minutes gone. At the bounce, Carey in opposition to Bubner. Aerial ping pong. Stringer thumps it towards the half-forward line. McDermott under pressure. Whips it back. Mansell, half-forward line. Quickly in now, it looks like to be Snibitler down in forward division. Wobbles one in towards goal. It's going to be short. Gibbs Quickly in now was Milliken. Over the top they go. McTavish wants it. Pryor in there. But the umpire will come and ball it up right on the edge of the square.
Yeah, and they tell me the ball was handball to Jim West. That's even worse.
Yeah, no. Well, Graham, I read it differently to both you fellows. In actual fact, it wasn't a free kick to Jim West. It was a free kick to someone else, I thought. And he played on by handballing it. But I might be wrong as well. 7-2 to 3-10.
Out of bounds on the grandstand side of the ground. The Bays 7-2, the Dogs 3-10. 20 minutes have just come up now in this second quarter. So the Dogs really at a very delicate stage now for them, because the Bays get another couple. It's good night, Irene. Chris McDermott coming into the game now, although they're letting him in. Hodgman, kick it in front. Couldn't mark the ball. Now Hewitt gets a clear shot at goal and he kicks out on the full. That's quite extraordinary, because the Bays haven't done that sort of thing so far in this game. So there's still life yet for the Dogs.
Pryor edges the ball back. Big leap. Stringer over the top. Oh, what a marvellous mark by Alan Stringer. A surprise heavy voter in the early part of the Magarey medal last week in the count. Or maybe it wasn't a surprise either. He had a brilliant first part of the season. Obviously took a lot of votes off his counterpart and teammate in Chris McDermott. Kick number 10, Stringer. I reckon he'll make the distance. It's not an easy one. He'll have to take that right goal post. He's taken too much. Won't come back from there. The grab is in there. Gibbs. Dummy's back. He's through. He's going to check side one, or is he? Don't tell me he's got that one. Unbelievable. Their next trip will be walking on water. Gibbs boots his second, 8-2 to 3-10 on 10 Sports Action.
Well, I pose a question to my co-commentators. Have you ever seen Ross Gibbs move so fast? Did that ball legs? He wanted that ball, he got it, he turned around on, well, to make the angle even harder, I would have thought. But he knew what he was doing, Ross Gibbs, and he knows where the goals are. Magic goal to Gibbs. Mr. Cool's done it again. That's his second, and the Bay's 8th, if you don't mind.
They're leading by 22 points. And it's really time to go home for the Dogs if they can't kick a couple in this quarter. Although it's not easy with what the breeze is doing. Good Shepherd off the boot. Now there's a free kick going to Alan Stringer. 8-2 the Bays, the Bulldogs 3-10. Alan Stringer's got a free kick just behind centre. It's his 11th kick. He's certainly beating Jamie Thomas as Stringer takes off again and kicks it towards Big James West. And that was as easy as they come. The spoil didn't quite get there, and Big James will probably kick another one.
It'll be his third for the quarter if he does, Pete.
He seems to have no difficulty in kicking goals from a long way out. The distance just doesn't seem to bother him. 5th kick to James West, and that is straight through the centre. So there's another one. 3 to James West, 9 to the Bays. They're 9-2 now, the Dogs 3-10.
Well, I got a feeling that Paul Sullivan was trying to claim he touched that ball. All to no avail, though. It was clearly over the heads of the guys trying to make a point out of the kick. It was a great kick by Jim West. Yes, 3 goals this quarter has really made his day a lot better than what it looked like being during that first quarter when he hardly saw, well, he didn't see the ball actually, and Craig Brady was well on top. But just right now, you'd have to say that Jim West would be holding the points, and he's come back in great fashion. That's his 3rd for the quarter, and the Bay's 9th, if you don't mind again.
3 in the last 7 minutes, Graham, and they're slaughtering the Dogs now. The Bulldog looking decidedly limp. 9-2 to 3-10, almost 24 minutes gone. Carey in opposition to Bubner at the bounce. Carey palming the ball beautifully. He didn't get that one. Thomas took it from Bubner. Floats one up into the vacant space on the outer side. The bounce will determine. McGrath on the turf. Gets round onto the left leg. Can he brick it back enough? Oh, he hits Lally. In goes the bouncing ball. Hocking gets it out wide. Chance McGrath again. The Dogs need a goal. Puts it up short. Van Dommel. He's got it. Well, here's an excellent chance for the Bays. Sorry, for the Dogs to reply. 20 metres out, but it is not an easy kick. He's virtually into the teeth of this force 4 gale. He keeps it low. He might be okay. Kick number 9, Van Dommel. Well, that ball stood up into the breeze. I think he's got it. Gee. Yes, that's home. What a goal for the Dogs into the breeze. His first, 4-10, plays 9-2.
Well, as they say, a captain's goal. Rene van Dombel is just that, captain of the Bulldogs, and that was a much-needed goal. But how silly is football? Here's a side that kicked one goal with what you might call a 4 or 5 goal breeze, and they've kicked 3 into it. Something the Bays couldn't even look like doing in the first quarter. They didn't have to, because they've kicked 8 with it. Bays 9, and Central now 4.
We're into time on, second quarter, and the Bulldogs have really got to tighten up in this last 5 minutes. Peter Carey easily to Stringer, who seemed to hoik that ball out, kick it, taps it back intelligently, and the Bulldogs going to attack again, just marginally. That's bread and butter for Scott Salisbury as he handballs straight over the head of Kimmy Hodgman. Bouncing ball is showing a lot of pace, and he nails Kimmy Hodgman just at the right moment for the Bulldogs to stop the forward movement of the ball. 25 and a half minutes, second quarter.
9-2 plays 4-10. 22 down. The worried faces of the Central camp. Carey hooks it back, but too far. The bounce didn't favour Thomas. Lally with a chance. Carey can't catch him. He's on his left leg. An awkward kick. Pryor meets it well, slips it over. Here's a chance. McGrath got it out to McAdam. Casper shoots, and I think he's going to be awfully close off. The wind grabbed that one quickly. Russell took it well, and a chance through Grenvold to clear. Puts it up towards centre wing. Thomas up over the top. In fact, it was McDermott who knocked it into his width towards his own goal and put it out of play.
26 and a half minutes, second quarter. 14 scoring shots to 11. Notwithstanding that, the Dogs down by 22 points. It's on centre wing. James West couldn't do much with it. McDermott went through, but it was pretty well done by Scott Lee, Lally and Wayne Stringer. He be pretty good to pick those up, umpire, but he's paid it to Wayne Stringer. Fifth kick. So the Bays another chance now. All they need to do is take a mark in this position and they kick a goal, it would appear. The Brady handball was awful. That should have been holding the ball. The umpire not interested. Hewitt, Carey. Well done there by Graham it was. Alan Stringer. He's kicked that sideways. Kick it, can't pick it up. Can now though. He's playing basketball, I'm sure. That was definitely a legging. And to the Bulldogs' advantage, now to their disadvantage, is it taken back about 20 metres. Seventh kick to kick it. And he goes short to Bubner. So Bubner, well, Mansell would have to come back surely. Poor policing of marks there by umpire Hilton. Bubner's not quite sure what to do with it. He was killing time, in fact. And up they go. Manamaker couldn't mark it. Lally had to get rid of it. Super Carey's there, and he gets rid of it very quickly. McDermott with a kick sideways. No mark taken out there, but a good effort. And the Bays are going to get out of trouble. It would appear Mansell to Marshall. Marshall kicks long, tries to centre it. And Budrick, gee, that was a good mark. Tavish is on his own. Budrick doesn't want him, and he kicks into the pocket, and that is awful football by Budrick, who had McTavish, but obviously she doesn't like him.
He was hell-bent on going to that dead pocket, Pete, and I don't know what inspired Craig Budrick to play to that area, but it wasn't the right decision.
Milliken gets the tap down. Sullivan towards the line and out of play. McTavish was a good 30 metres clear of an opponent. Budrick had the ball, he was balanced. He only had to put it across, and McTavish could have walked into a goal. There's an Alan Stringer fan. Doesn't say too much about him. Salisbury, was it? Oh, shows how much I know. McDermott into the pocket, Gurdon back with him. McAdam lost the footy. Here's a chance. Hewitt pushing the back. Well, McAdam's going to get a free kick in the back pocket, and he doesn't look all that healthy at the moment. Well, it's a good way to waste a few seconds. Time ticking out now in this quarter. 10th kick McAdam. 29 minutes gone. McAdam edges the ball back towards the half-back line. Well put, and it's taken there by Stephen Schwerdt.
Schwert's got it at half-back. 4-10 the Dogs. The Bays are 9-2. The Schwerdt kick will fall in Peter Carey country. Now Seabohm with a very high ball. Schwerdt from behind goes for the thump, and he did it very well. Straight through the legs there of Gurdon, but it was Brady who mopped up to Scott Lee. This is where the Dogs do their best work, on the grandstand side of the ground. Who's got his eyes on Tavish. Tavish kicks as long as he can, although he didn't get good distance, but it's very easy for James West. And Tavish backs up and runs past the big fella, but out comes Melican. Melican's got a chance at this one. Botka is with him, and he went for the thump. Well, kick it. Chanced his arm with the handball. It didn't really go to advantage, and the umpire's going to let it play on. Bubner will get past Alan Stringer very easily. Doesn't have a bounce. Jags it to half forward. Grenvold mops up very easily, and Ross Gibbs. He'll play on. He normally does something intelligent with the ball, Ross Gibbs, and he did on that occasion as he found Craig Butterick. Carey's on his own, and no one wants to know about him, which is most surprising. And Hodgman marks it. Quite extraordinary loose defending back there, Graham.
Well, Scott Lee was in a no-win situation, Pete. He left his opponent, direct opponent, Kim Hodgman, to cover Carey, and he's disgusted. He's looking around now trying to find someone to support him, but you can't blame Scott Lee for that one. He had to do something about the Carey situation, and of course it floated over the head, inevitably, to the bloke he left behind.
Siren's gone, so the Bays have got a chance with Kim Hodgman, who should kick this goal, to go in well up. Third kick, Kim Hodgman. Lines it up, and he's missed by plenty. The Bays are 9-3, Central District 4-10 at half-time here at Football Park.
Glenelg by 23 points as we commence the second half of the first semi-final. At the bounce, Kickett got the tap away, back towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance, Hodgman under pressure. Gee, threw that away, conceded ground. Wayne Stringer's going to have to work hard for this, looks for the free kick, still works well, did it, gets it out wide. A match for Marshall and Schwert. The ball will go out of play. 9-3 to 4-10. It's the Bays by 23 points after being 10 points down at quarter time.
Interestingly, Ian, Neil Curley's gone back to the self-same 18 players in their self-same positions he lined up at the start of the first quarter.
Yes, I thought that Eddie Hocking might have been given a run on the ground this quarter, but in fact he was on the ground in the last quarter. I don't think he saw much of it, the ball that is. 4-10 the Dogs, Glenelg 9-3. Just under a minute into this third quarter. Make or break for the Dogs. More like break, I think. As Peter Carey applies the tackle to Scott Salisbury. I don't know whether he had hold of the head, his head or the ball on that occasion. Probably both.
One change, Pete. Derek Kickett appears to be in the centre for Central.
Well, Van Dommel's got the kick and Russell's in front. Good. Touched or play on, so Mandamaker did the right thing. He saw the call, or he heard it. Chaplin, gee, got around pretty well then, but he's kicked it out on the full. So it looks like we're going to see another repeat of the first quarter.
And that was our Stephen Rowe yesterday in a similar position, kicked it out of bounds by plenty, given the similar situation.
John Stabickler from the back pocket, playing in his first final series for Glenelg. Edging the ball out of defence. Well, he's going to take his time. Umpire Hilton motioning him to get back into the play quickly. Well, the ball stops up into the wind. Lownder's up there, did a bit of edging out. Kick it, try to find Van Dommel. Lounder again sets it up. Seabohm, Lally, kick it. Well played now, Alan Stringer. Bounds off the half-back line. Schwert tries to cut him down. Drives long, up towards West. Well done, Allen, to thump the ball away. Pace of Mansell evident. Can't get it out. Pryor wants holding the ball, and that's the way that it will go. Pryor from the half-back flank quickly plays on, brings it in to Kickett. He's been a danger man when he gets the ball. Gives it away now to Girdham. Out wide of the running player is Lee. The Dogs into attack up towards the half-forward line. Out comes Mandamaker. Traps it well. He's clear. Hooks around the corner. The bounce will determine. He's got a shocking bounce, but it went through. Third goal to Mandamaker. The Dogs off to a great start in the second half. 5-10 to 9-3 on 10 Sports Action.
Well, I suppose you could say that Bulldogs have had wretched luck in the first half of play. just in the trend of action from time to time, when they should have kicked goals, perhaps they just didn't quite read the wind as well as they could have. But that time, all the luck went Rudy Mann to make his way. It bounced and unerringly went between the big sticks to give Rudy his third goal, as Ian just said. And Central move on to 5 goals now out of 15 shots for goal. And the Bays are still on 9-3-57.
17 points the difference. The Bays leading. The Bay runner onto the field, perhaps to make a move as big Dick Lounder goes for the big thump to centre half forward. Hodgman caught with the ball, and the umpire is going to bounce it again. That Bay runner is not making too much headway into that breeze, but he'll deliver his message certainly by 3/4 time. Lounder goes for the thump again. Couldn't pick it up. Alan Stringer, through goes Kickett, and McGrath coming into the play, and he wants Manamaker, but that's not really the spot to put it. The Bays love it down there. Lally missed Manamaker by a mile. Big Rudy gets back on the ball now. They want holding the ball. Crowd yelled out, but the umpire not interested as Scott Salisbury finds comfort in the boundary line.
No mistake in her colours. And the Bays at the moment leading by 17 points. Carey, Van Dommel, Grenvold goes in. It's the Bickler with him there, McGrath, and the umpire will come and ball it up again. 5-10 to 9-3, 4 minutes into the second half. The Dogs last attacking with the breeze. The last quarter attacking with the breeze. Carey gets it out, thumps it towards the line that goes out of play.
I thought you might refer to the VFL. There's only 13 other sides than that. Yes, they certainly have got a 17-point lead to make up. And can they do it this quarter?
Well, the point about it, Graham, is they need to do it quickly. There's no point just getting to Glenelg at 3/4 time. They really need to get in front and give themselves a good buffer. 9-3 the Bays. The Dogs are 5-10, and there's a bit of noise on the outer side of the ground. We don't really know what it's about, though. The umpire's got the ball back now. But in any event, Glenelg seem to be able to waste time at will. And the Bulldogs don't seem to be concerned about it. Too much action happening out there at the moment. It's gone out again, and this is really where the Bulldogs fell over in the first quarter. So much time was wasted in that right half forward, right full forward pocket area. Dogs have got to get the ball out of there. Thomas from behind went for the thump. Chance now for the Bays to bring it out. On that occasion, McDermott did, and he found Ross Gibbs. Gibbs has had a ball today. He kicked 2 clever goals in the second quarter. 9th kick, and he's just booted one out on the full. So the Bulldogs have got a reprieve.
At centre wing, it's going to be Keith Allen to send the Dogs into their attacking division. Goes in short to the lead of Brady. Well played, Seabohm. Obviously, Brady playing centre half forward. He played there in recent seasons, but new coach Neil Curley decided he was better at centre half back, and he's had a particularly good year there. 5-10 to 9-3. The Bays by 17 points. Carey and Lounder. Super used his body well. Chaplin to Swirt, intercepted by Lally. He puts it up to the half-forward line. Seabohm has got to have to work hard. Grenvold gets it back. Hodgman, well done. Stringer needs a set, gets it, whips it out. McDermott, centre wing, the Bay starting to run. Marshall, Pryor about to run him down. Great tackle. Swirt back in defence for the Dogs. Has a chance to set it up to Chaplin, but he gives it to Gurdam instead. Now it's Pryor. Through the centre line go the Dogs, up towards the half-forward line. Bickler holds his ground and takes an easy mark in the end. Bubner should have at least spoiled.
Bickler goes to Peter Carey and finds him. Bubner tried to stop the kick but couldn't. Schwert, one-hander. And he's going to play it on to Pryor. So Pryor's going to have another go. Whoop, they've run into trouble here. Van Dommel, well intercepted by Mansell, and Salisbury just put Chaplin away. Now, you're going to pull a free kick out of an umpire. Makes a bit of mockery of the rules, but Chaplin obviously wasn't hurt. He got the kick away, but again, in the wrong spot, and Ross Gibbs as easy as you like. Just mops up and puts the ball back to find Marshall. So once again, the Bays are controlling the game when the Dogs are going to the northern end.
And they've pulled their same trick, Peter, putting Ross Gibbs, that loose man, in the back line.
Neil Curley hasn't counted it. Big Dick Lounder.
Big fellow's got it, the tallest man on the ground at 203 centimetres. puts that in high to the half-forward line. Man to make a set. The back Bubner. The Crumbs kick it through. With him McGrath. Grenvold intervenes. Ducked his chutney well. Hooks in towards goal. Brady out on the full. And Mr. Cool Ross Gibbs elects to play on quickly. Gee, no pressure put on him at all. Kicks long back towards centre wing. Big leap there early by McTavish, or Mansell it was. Finally, Mansell gets it out. Now it's Pryor. Pryor to Lee. Lee on the half-forward line. He's clear. He'll put in a long one. It's going in long, high at a tone. Brilliantly done, Scott Lee. Up from the back pocket. The booties first. The Dogs 6-10. The Bays 9-3 on 10 Sports Action.
And that proves something to the Central District players, surely to goodness. This is the side of the ground to come to goal with the breeze from, not the other side where so much play gets bottled up. A quick kick over to Scott Lee, coming up from the back line, and he's kicked a magnificent 55-metre goal. And Central now, that's their 6th goal for the game. Starting to look better. Still 11 points in arrears though. They need more quick goals.
6-10 the Dogs, 9-3 Glenelg, 12 scoring shots to 16, but Glenelg still well up. Richard Lounder went for the big thump and it was effective. McGrath comes across, he threw the ball out. Chaplin was into the back of the player there in Grenvold. So the Glenelg half-back flanker gets it over to Kim Hodgman, who puts it up high looking for Big James West. The thump came from Keith Allen, playing at centre half-back now. McDermott went for the dive. The umpire was easily fooled. McDermott, 11 kicks, 11 handballs. Budrick didn't know he had it. James West is the target, but he won't find him. Scott Lee was off. Once again, the umpire gave the player the benefit of the doubt. Why, I'm not sure. Chaplin, Van Dommel, straight into Salisbury, as though it was almost manufactured. Now Budrick. Bays will kick a goal here if the Bulldogs are not careful. The kick is too short to West. He was tackled and fights for the ball against McTavish, although he didn't know he was there. Schwert can't pick it up. Plenty of heavy fighting by McTavish at the base of the pack. A pretty good effort.
Comedy of errors by the Bays there. They had a splendid opportunity. As Peter called it, 2 Bay players fighting for the ball. And in the end, they blew it. 9-3 to 6-10. The Bays haven't scored in the first 10 minutes of this quarter, but then again, they only had 1 scoring shot against the Breeze in the first quarter. Here's a chance. Hodgman puts it in high, out steams Melican. Melican in front, thump clear, the Crumbs. Hewitt can't. In comes Hodgman again. Hooks around the corner. Melican's going to get another chance. Kick it. Courage. Top mark kick it. He'll go short to centre wing on the outer side. Geez, missed Pryor. Struggling to raise the gallop. Out goes Wayne Stringer. Well done, Pryor. Puts out the handball. Missed Lee. Lee puts out another one. Girdham. The Dogs into attack again. Girdham undecided where to put it. Out steams. Bubner. Got it. Beautifully put. Out in front of the big fellow on the lead. And he's got it 35-40 metres out. Bubner yet to kick a goal. The Dogs would dearly like him to alter all that right now. Kick number 7. Wind assisted, he'll bolt the distance in. It's a floating kick. It's not going to be successful. And another bad miss for the Dogs. A point only takes them on now to 6-11. The Tigers are 9-3.
And Ross Gibbs helped that ball back into the crowd by about 50 metres by punching it a very long way. So it'll take that much longer to come back. What Ross doesn't understand is just time on till the ball does get back to him anyhow. So there really was an exercise in futility. Roscoe, he came back in to kick the ball back in the play. Another point to Central, makes them 11 for the game. 17 shots to 12.
And once again, Bubner missed the goal that Jim West kicked very easily in the second quarter. Richard Lounder couldn't boil away from Peter Carey then. Super will take a long time before he kicks this. Eighth kick to big Super Carey, back towards centre wing, and a good mark down there taken by Chaplin, not Pryor in fact, who's played pretty well. Play on is the call. 7 kicks, 4 handballs. Lounder, the big chap, goes up and takes the mark. But he's going to play on for a while. And he just told Grenvold all about it. Now Big Richard can occasionally kick goals, and we're told that he's a straight shooter, so he's almost dead in front. do they ever need one? 13 minutes, third quarter. Lownder's kick is a point. So really, the Dogs cannot win this game because you've got to kick more than your opposition to do that, and they're simply not going to do it by kicking points.
Gee, Peter, they've blown some chances. When you have a look at it, 18 scoring shots to 12, and most of them haven't been all that difficult. Many of them have been set shots. There's a happy man. Maybe a Bay supporter. Not too many of the Dog supporters will be too happy at the moment. Ross Gibbs goes to the outer side. Good ground covering kick. The back, it's Carey. Oh, the big fellow did it well towards centre wing. McDermott with Pryor. Brady rides the tackle. Pryor, high tackle. The umpire's going to give a free kick to the Bays. McDermott gets it for being hit head high. McDermott checks side of centre wing to put the Bays into attack again. It wasn't all that popular decision in the stand. 12 kicks, 4 handballs to McDermott. 12 kicks and 12 handballs, I beg your pardon. Butterick puts it up for grabs, out steams Melican again. In front is West. Swirt, Pryor, well done. Sullivan, Chaplin, Van Dommel might have been caught, surprised there. Now Sullivan, the running player, through the half-forward line. Lally, now Chaplin drives in towards goal and he's offline. Point only, 6:13 to 9-3.
Moving up on 15 minutes, third quarter, and the Bulldogs are really playing out their last dying throes of 1988 because inaccuracy is going to cost them this game. As Wayne Stringer has it at left half back. 7th kick straight up in the air, so the breeze is still pretty strong out there. A big thump from behind sees McDermott try to run away with the ball. The crowd won holding the ball, but there's a bit of optimism in that. 19 scoring shots to 12, and yet the difference is 8 points, the Bulldogs trailing. But if they kick another 8 points, they'll at least equal the Bay score by three-quarter time. Be another bounce down at right half-forward flank now in the Bulldogs' attacking zone. West and Mandamaker have both kicked 3 goals for their respective sides as Snew Bickley gets the handball to Salisbury, who's tackled before he delivers the ball, and umpire Hilton will bounce it.
Gets plenty of exercise, but that's the sort of game it is. The element of wind destroys our game as a spectacle more than any other element. Oh, now to appear to throw it out. Seabohm couldn't find it. Brady can't get rid of it. They go in hard again. McTavish lost it. Van Dommel. McDermott gave it to Marshall. Well tackled. Gets out a handball. Mansell keeps it in play only for Pryor. The umpire has seen another high tackle. It's going to Mansell. And Nigel gets it at centre wing. To send the Tigers into attack. 16 minutes gone. 10th kick, Mansell. Boy from the southeast puts it up high. Gee, the wind hiding it up. Big leap, Hodgman. McDermott again whips out a handball. Scott Lee can't get it out, and the umpire will come and ball it up on the half-forward line for the Bay.
Played pretty well, Scott Lee. He's a very good defender. 8 kicks, 4 handballs. McAdam couldn't get the handball out, so he had to do a kick instead. So it's out of bounds, left half-forward flank for the Bays. Bulldog supporters surprisingly happy.
Remarkably, Pete, Ross Gibbs now comes up the forward line unattached. But this time Neil Curley's a wake up and he's told Gurdon to follow him wherever he goes.
Ball picked up, Graham Campbell. A tap out to kick it, and he went the wrong way initially, but came back cleverly to Chaplin. Chaplin, Mandamaker on the lead. Big Rudy in front. Bubner, McGrath, pirouettes. Can't kick a goal with that. So the Bulldogs, Graham, really haven't got a chance with that sort of forward play.
No, Pete, they can't afford to come in and draw the Glenelg at half-time. They've got to lead them by a couple of goals. And here we find Salisbury now marking the unopposed virtually over to Ross Gibbs. Free of the play.
Gibbs is clear at centre wing. He's 40 metres clear. Hodgman is short. He's going to give it to Hodgman. Well, they'll have to give away a professional free here because immediately West dropped into the open space. Gibbs wants it again. He's going to get it in the pocket, but he can't kick a goal from there, but he'll try. Puts it up for grab. Ball coming back, and he's missed. Gee, it came back, but after it went through the goal, but I think Graham Campbell would say that's an impossible angle.
Oh, no question. And although he gave it a nudge, as you say, that's the impossible dream from there.
Now the kick out is going to be a danger one for the Dogs. Marshall is going to take possession and try to put it back to Big Melican. It's in front of the scoreboard out there now with 6:13 the Bulldogs, Glenelg 9-4. Chris Melican from Donald. Kicking off the ground there is Schwert, straight to Salisbury. He does one of his special kicks straight up in the air. In goes Kickett, and another big grab by Kickett. Being a fine player, he was about to play on. 9 kicks, 14 handballs. No one's going to stand the mark. You can't do that. Well, the umpire actually played that on, which is an indication of how silly the umpiring's been today. Out to Sullivan, back to Pryor. Around the neck, says the umpire. McAdams jumped on a Glenelg player, and they might lose the ball. Pryor is still on the ground, he hasn't moved. So I wonder what's going to happen. Yeah, Pryor's out. They've called for a stretcher. I'd say Pryor is out. Yes, the stretcher's on the way out. And back goes... Well, I thought Thomas was going to have a go at McDermott then, but...
Actually, Pete, if the umpiring was spot on, Gilbert McAdam, he really did attack Scott Salisbury then. And, you know, you can't blame him, I suppose, because his own teammate had gone down on a heap. Nonetheless, you'll run the risk of losing the ball, and that's all that matters.
I think Pryor's moving, isn't he?
Yeah, seems to be moving, but he wasn't in a bad shape there, bad shape.
Wrong.
But nonetheless, what Gilbert McAdam did really, you shouldn't do, because you lose the ball. That's the only important factor in a game of league football. Who's got the pill?
Well, this is unfortunate for the Dogs. Pryor was playing very well, but the lad is at least moving, and that's a good sign. But they're still going to stretcher him from the arena. 6:13 to 9-4. 20 minutes into the second half, and the umpire has taken the ball off Centrals. That was for that illegal tackle, but they'll hold the game up while the unfortunate Pryor is stretchered from the arena.
Central District lost the ball on that occasion to Ross Gibbs through the foolishness of Gilbert McAdam. The kick to the outer side of the ground has been a Glenelg specialty today, and they've done it well. 19 scoring shots to 13. Notwithstanding that, the difference is 9 points in Glenelg's favour. Richard Lounder and Peter Carey, over the top it went to Van Dommel. Now Kickett, who was undoubtedly the Bulldogs' best player. He puts it out in front of Bubner. Bubner's got another chance to kick a goal now. But you couldn't put money on it. In fact, you could put a lot of money against it. Bubner's hit the post. So that really tells the story of today. 6:14 the Dogs, the Bays 9-4.
It's going to be a long summer for the Bulldogs if they reflect on what happened in the the first semi-final, knockout final. They had every chance. Gibbs plays on, gets a lead from Stabikler. That was well picked up. Kickett almost ran him down. West is going to have to work hard, so too is Allen. Sullivan through. McTavish gives a chance to West. He's got to pick it up. He's in trouble. Puts it out now for Butterick, but it was a poor handball under pressure, and that went out of play. But the seconds are ticking away for the Bays, kicking into this huge breeze in the third quarter.
There's a lot of time on though, Ian, with the stretcher job coming out there, so we could probably count on 33 minutes this quarter.
Through it goes to Gilbert McAdam, who gets a quick kick away, and it goes straight to Alan Stringer. The boos are directed at Alan Stringer, but I think the crowd is somewhat confused. Over the top, Schwert, gee, he read that very well. Now Bubner, who hit the post a little while ago, but he finds Girdham on this occasion. Girdham to Scott Lee, who's not a good handball. Scott Lee pretty well. And the umpire's going to bounce it. Bulldogs cannot take a trick today. They're trailing by 8 points. They need to be 4 up at three-quarter time to win the game, but they're not going to be.
You're not wrong. Not the way they're going at the moment. 23 minutes gone. That's a magnificent hit out by Carey. The bounce was a shocker, but it's taken by Alan Stringer out in front of Butterick on the outer side. He's got one to beat. That's Glenelg getting him. The umpire said push in the back. Well, Sullivan had to do that because if Butterick had got around him, he had an open go towards goal. Butterick puts it up for grabs. Out steams Melican. Hodgman in front. West there as well. Marshall, Hewitt. Players stack up and the umpire will come in and bounce in the full forward left pocket. 6-14 to 9-4. The Bays by 8 points, 24 minutes gone. In the sands of time running out for the Bulldogs, especially in this game. And of course that's the series for them. Hodgman, back to Hewitt. Goes in high, one-on-one. Butker and Melican. Well spoiled. Lee has a time to have a look. Brings it back. Stringer, Wayne Stringer, well intercepted. Once again he puts it up for grabs. Melican on his own, can't get it. First there's going to be Mansell. He'll need support from there into the pocket, hooks it back brilliantly. West can't find it, Hodgman can! Back inboard, McDermott, brilliantly done. Kimmy Hodgman, and McDermott's got a chance from 25 metres out. Well, it'll be a top kick if he kicks a goal from here. He's got to kick right into the teeth of this very strong breeze. Not quite the force 4 guard it was yesterday. Kick number 13. McDermott offline. Well done in defence, and it looks like McGrath's mark.
Good effort, McGrath, and he's going to play it on. Try and find Lally, which he does pretty simply. Lally will think about Van Dommel, but then kicks the ball. So Butterick just a touch late with the tackle. Through the ball goes now to Girdham. Seabohm played it well though. Ross Gibbs changes direction pretty well and kicks to McTavish, who fell over and was now holding the ball. Well, the umpire saw that one. Now Brady, who's at centre-half forward this quarter with his 10th kick. Manamaker and big Richard Launder from behind, but typically no Central District players down. They all went for the fly. 28th possession to Chris McDermott, who didn't win this year's Magarey medal. Out of bounds on the full, so a free kick to the Bays.
Taken by Marshall. Marshall towards the pocket. Well put. McTavish has got it. No, it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will go the way of Centrals. Will be taken in the back pocket there by Bubner. Time running out on this quarter. 26 minutes gone. We probably have a 30-minute quarter due to the stretcher off the ground. 10th kick Bubner. Well taken there by Hewitt. Hewitt in turn will go out wide. Possession football by the Bays just to eke out the minutes. McTavish to Hodgman. Once again keeps it in the Bay forward line. The experience of Hodgman will tell now as he goes back to kick it in long. Off goes Butterick on a lead. Doesn't want that player. He's going to look for West End or Melican. Melican lumbers off but aborts. Goes in now for Butterick, the original leader. Well, they've had 3 kicks and moved it about 30 metres. Butterick is about 40 out. Very acute angle. No hope of kicking a goal from there. Puts it up now. Who's got the big sticky fingers? West! Great mark. Well, poor judgment by the Central defence. West finished up that, taking that on his chest so easily. His 6th mark right in front. A magnificent second quarter by this player. He kicked 3 goals, a couple of them huge. Only 10-15 metres out, right in front. And that is a very valuable goal for the Bays. 4 goals to Big Jim West. 10-4 to 6-14 on 10's Sports Action.
Big Jim's played in fits and starts to a certain extent. His first quarter was non-existent. His second quarter was nothing short of brilliant. And he's been virtually out of the game this quarter to that mark. Right in front, and he speared it home for his 4th goal. He's actually playing at centre-half forward as he has all day, but he's had a different opponent this quarter because Craig Brady, his original counterpart, has gone to centre-half forward. And that left big Keith Allen playing at centre-half back.
Bulldogs have kicked 2 goals 6 this quarter to further compound their almost irretrievable position. As Peter Carey brings it back to the check side, away goes Kickett. He's one guy that won't give up, and a magnificent effort by Kickett. But it'd be silly to say it was going to be a goal, because they're not kicking goals today, only points. 6-15 the Dogs, Glenelg 10-4.
He's really put his ability on display this afternoon. It's the best game I've seen him play, and he's clearly the Dogs' best player. If he could get a few more to go with him, might have been a different story. Gibbs, he set his teammate up, brilliantly intercepted McGrath. Here's a chance, has to go back in, kick it, well done Grenfold. Lost the footy, kick it, goes in, Grenfold buckles it up. Gee, a couple of brilliant passages of play there. Firstly, the interception by Kickett, then Grenfold. Well done, top defensive work by the Bays. A bounce down right on the edge of the quarter, players just getting a little excited. Well, it is a mothball semi-final. The loser of today's game, of course, is history in '88. The winner goes on to play Norwood in the preliminary final. They might concede this, it's close to the line. Gibbs ensures they only get a point out of it and takes it across his own goal line.
That's one time I agree with conceding a point. I usually argue that one, but Josh Gibbs caught in no man's land then. Must take it across the line just to give the Bays the luxury of a kick back into play.
29 minutes plus gone, 6-16 the Dogs, 10-4 the Bays. As Roscoe Gibbs puts it to the outer side of the ground with a ground covering kick. No mark taken out there, or was it? Yes. James West. He's kicked 4 goals, he's had 8 kicks, and now he tries to find McTavish but doesn't. The umpire says play on. McTavish got past the outstretched hands of Lally. In fact, Lally forgot to tackle him. McDermott pushed it to the line, and it's out of bounds. So we're nearly 30 minutes in, and the Bulldogs trail by 2 goals.
Throw in on the half-forward left flank. Allen tries to bring it back. Siren sound. The Dogs in trouble at 3/4 time. The Bays with the last use of the breeze in the final quarter lead 10-4 to 6-16 on 10 Sports Action. The moment of truth for the Dogs. Down by 12 points, kicking into the breeze in the final quarter. This could be it for them in 1988 unless they lift their game enormously. McDermott sends the Bays into attack, and what they don't need is a quick goal. The Bays do, the Dogs don't. Allen gets it out nicely. Sullivan off the half-back line, brings it back towards the half-forward line. Big leap there, Thomas, fine mark. Oh, Thomas, gee, that was a toffee action. Just lost his a couple of ribs as he puts it across, looking for kick it. Oh, beautifully done, McDermott. Gives it across to Stringer. Stringer goes for the run on the left leg. Out comes Melican. He's got it. What a great kick by Wayne Stringer. Chris Melican has got it. 35-40 out, wind assisted. He'll bolt the distance in. And umpire Gibbs is saying that why can't his own player stand next to him? I can't believe that. Well, obviously he can't because the umpire said he can't. Melican, the kick off the side of the boot is out on the full, and the Dog supporters breathe a sigh of relief.
Ian, can you understand that? John Hilton ordered Ross Gibbs away from his own man. I can't believe that.
Haven't seen that before. It's his choice if he wants to distract somebody. Out of defence, Sullivan can't control it. On the ground, Lee. It's a handball towards Graham, but look at him. It was, he can't take it. Glenelg lady looking a little bit tense. Bubner, great athlete he is. In the ruck against Carey, gets a hand to it. Lee, McAdam, high to half forward, and Seabohm just too strong in the way.
Seabohm off the half-back line. Kick number 7 goes towards centre half forward. Here's a chance for McDermott to find it. Got a bad bounce. Girdham through. Under pressure, down he goes, holding the ball. Great tackle, Alan Stringer. Stringer had a brilliant first half, has been a little quieter since then. Gives it back to Hodgman in the double play. Butterick on the lead, and that's beautifully put.
And this boy's got clean hands. He never misses a mark that he should take.
Very valuable player for the Bays in attack. Craig Butterick, only 43 games to his credit. Kick number 10, he puts it up. That's not a bad looking kick. If it's made the distance, it's home. That's his first. The Bays off to a brilliant start in the final quarter, 11-4 to 6-16 on 10 Sports Action.
And that's the start that Central didn't want to see the Bays have. They wanted to bottle them up and keep them away from that scoring area. But that was a magnificent goal by Butterick, and the mark, as I said before, the boy just doesn't drop those. We've seen a lot of sloppy ball handling today from both sides on occasions, not Butterick. When he's there to take a mark, he takes it, and completed the contract with a great goal.
The job really ahead of the Dogs now. Neil Kelly's three-quarter time speech would have been around hard work and pride. Hodgman's got other ideas as his left foot sends him to centre half forward. Mansell does the crumbing as the Dogs get in each other's way. Lee can't pick it up. Butterick does the battle. McDermott in the back is the call. Scott Lee, they'll have to kick to possession now if they're going to work into this wind and get on with it quickly. Van Dommel does just that. Back to kick it. Forward they go. This is where they're falling down. Brady, too slow to get there. Coming out with it. Glenelg was Schneebickler. It was the obvious intention where he wanted to go, and that was towards the boundary line.
Well, they've got almost a force-4 goal. They might as well attack with it. They're up by 18 points, but certainly the game isn't over. Carey in front, super game towards the half-forward line. McGrath can't. Marshall in, but can't keep it in play.
Once again, Ian, that inevitable change has been made by Coach Corns. He's got Roscoe Gibbs back in the forward line and Salisbury back to a back pocket, his familiar role.
The Bays by 18 points. Carey against Bubner. Swert try to get through. Once again, can't get out, and the umpire will ball it up.
Well, the Dogs just not playing well enough to suggest they can work into this wind and score. They've got plenty of time if they're good enough, though. Hodgman against Lally. Neither can control it. We'll have another throw in. 52 plays 70. So the scores are well within touch, the Dogs. It's very hard to score into this breeze. Thomas. High. Makes it easy for Seabone to smile. Crummer has Girdham. Great tackle on him by Marshall. Really had no way of getting rid of that. That's the way the umpire saw it.
Neville, the Bay tackling today has been nothing short of sensational. They really have clamped up when they had to, and they know how to get onto a loose ball, don't they?
You're not wrong. Carey cleverly out to Hodgman, brilliantly done. Back now to Beckler round the corner, free upfield. Foolish play by the Dogs. Gave away a free kick, and it'll go upfield to Craig Butterick. Butterick is about 45 to 50 out. The breeze will assist, but a very difficult kick from that angle and that distance. He's not even going for the goals. He's just going to put it up for the big leapers. The back of the pack. McGrath ducked into that. The umpire's got to make a decision and he'll ball it up. Well, he didn't have to. He couldn't guess. He couldn't see it from the wall of players. Maybe the tackle was high. McGrath did duck into it, but the umpires ruled for a bounce.
He called it correctly. The spectator's got other ideas, but that's the way the rule reads. If you duck into it, it doesn't matter what happens. You simply won't be getting a free kick.
In fact, never you can even lose the kick. You may be holding the ball. So that's an insult to injury on that occasion, I guess, but it could have been on.
It's really designed to for players to really get rid of the ball quickly. First thought, not to break tackles. Scott Lee, bad handball. Hodgman crumbs well. It's it back to McDermott. All sorts of trouble. It's it back to Mellick, and he tries to tap it down to Mansell. Absolutely nowhere to go, Girdham. Good presence of mind, not to panic. Goes out towards Swert. Kick it. A great day on his left foot. High towards Brady. Seabone with him. Carey does the crumbing. See that often. All by himself into the centre. Girdham working hard. It's a good solid bump there. Alan Stringer goes on to Grenville. The Tigers forward again. midfield. Another free after disposal. And Neil Curley will be gritting his teeth with frustration. He doesn't need any of this now. Distinct lack of discipline creeping into the Central District side.
And Mr. Cool's got the ball, Neville. He's one guy that can find the goals from there.
Getting a lot of important touches now. Sits it right up in front of the goal. That'll be very, very close. He's not quite able to take it, so that's another point. 11-5-71. They lead the Dogs 6-16-52.
Remarkable kick by Ross Gibbs. Normally a back pocket player, but it doesn't much matter. He can play forward of play as well as anybody. And that kick landed right in the teeth of goal.
Important point, that one. Now they've got to score 4 times to win, the Dogs, into the breeze, and that's a pretty insurmountable task. Ball out of play in the full forward right pocket, almost out to the half forward line. 11-5 to 6-16. 19 points in favour of the Bays. Bubner trying to hook it back. Big Super Carey. Gee, he's been a champion today. And the umpire said it's a line ball for a bounce. Sullivan against Carey, and a bounce in the full forward right pocket.
I had to be in Sullivan's position there, Ian. The big fella just fell on him, but he's got up okay, no worries. What would Big Peter be? 17 stone, I guess, and the other fellow was just there to be sat upon.
Very close to it. I wouldn't like him to sit on me, quite frankly. Kick it. Plenty of pace. Heisman with him. Holding the man decision. That's the way it goes. He could play that very well. Possession player, Van Dommel. Off he goes. Goes towards half forward. No one there. Hocking. Late on the sea was Thomas. Mandermaker. Gets it over to Lally. Into goal he goes. Oh, they need this one. The Dogs, that's home. Still a chance. That's his first. 77 plays 52.
Educated goal by Stephen Lally. He really did not rush into the kick as most of the Dog players have coming forward of play. He steadied, came back on his right foot to make sure he could really give it the old heave-ho. He kicked it towards goal. It landed conveniently round about 5 metres out and rolled through, which it virtually had to do given the kick he executed. Great work by Stephen Lally. He's been a reasonably busy player today, 13 kicks, but really around the packs, the Bays have held sway.
Well, that's character-building stuff, that one. They're not going to give it away. Could be their last chance in 88 at the bounce. Carey against Bubner. Bubner should get this one. McDermott got it off the pack up towards West. In goes Mansell. Got through the pack. Needs support. Hooks around the corner. Melican up there getting back on a Butker off the fingers. It goes through for a point. And the Bays move on now to 11-6 for the Dogs 7-16. Game's not over yet.
Sorry, an excellent work by Darren Mansell, and he really was outnumbered by the Bulldog people, but still won the falling ball and almost kicked a goal.
It's Disneyland stuff for young Mansell. Played the reserves most of the year and now been promoted for the final series. Swerved high from the kick out. He played that mark. He said he had enough of it. Good player for the Dogs today. 10 kicks, 9 handballs. Plenty of pace, plenty of courage. Works very hard. On his left foot, pushes it down that eastern boundary. All players underneath it. Marshall. There's the Crumming. Seabohm in there. Sullivan in there as well. Great result. We'll have another bounce. Centre wing. 58 plays 72.
It's a funny game, football. Maybe the Bays, not all that much of a certainty at the moment. I'd rather be kicking with the breeze and a 14-point advantage than against it, I can tell you. Kick it. In goes Seabohm. Try to bottle the ball up. Gird him over the top. But Seabohm can't get it out. The umpire must bounce.
Yeah, and the only danger in a situation like this is if the side with the breeze think the breeze will do it for them. They've got to still work as hard as they have getting this lead.
You're not wrong. Here's a chance. Van Dommel hooks around. Stringer kept his eyes on the football, showed courage, and he's got the ball just to check side of the centre line. To put the Tigers into attack again, he'll kick long, or he ought to kick long. Gets a lead from Butterick. He goes in that direction. Carey's out there as well, and Big Super can't bring it down. I noticed Philip Graham back on the turf. Coach Curley interchanged him during the second quarter. He's been in the bunker for most of the game.
Need some players now to run with the football. Need to keep possession. Need to cross the lines with it. Keep the pressure right back on the Bays. With Allen playing at centre half forward. Of Bulldog supporters. Heads down. Plenty of time left. Bubner over the back. Gives it to Girdham. Girdham quickly onto McAdam. The Bulldogs are away. In the centre, Lally couldn't trap it. Lost it. McTavish on the rebound. Stringer now. Heads in towards Milliken. Good kick. Good lead. He completed it with a good chest mark.
That was classic stuff, Neville. It was just what you want to see from a full forward leading to a player upfield. And Alan Stringer hit him on the chest with the ball.
His third kick. Got out of the blocks very quickly. Kicked 1 goal in the second quarter. He won't add to that. So the Dogs' chances still alive.
Actually, Buckley did that very well. He marked where the actual point was where he was allowed to stand and went back 3 or 4 metres and jumped at the last moment. It did put Chris Mulligan off, I believe.
No question. Well, the Dogs have kicked themselves out of a final if they do lose, and they're down by 15 points at the moment. They've certainly had a lot more shots than Glenelg, and many of them gone out on the full, which of course are not recorded on the board. 6th kick, kicked into the man, under pressure. Well done, Van Dommel, gets it out to Kickett. Kickett needs some magic here to get himself out of that. He does it well. Goes down the outer side. Seabo back in defence. Getting back there with him is the Bickler. He looks for a runner. Can't find one. Hooks back around the corner. Carey's back there. Bubner with him. McDermott at the back of the pack needs to sit. Close to the line. Gets it on the boot. Up towards Gibbs. With him is McGrath. He's got the footy under pressure now. Has to throw it away. Gibbs in the right forward pocket. Puts it up. Looking for Melican. And the big fellow can't find it. But gee, not a bad attempt at goal. 1 point only. And the Bays move on now to 11-8 to the Dogs 7-16.
I'll swear Ross Gibbs makes that ball bend when he has a shot for goal from those angles. He all but kicks them from where you can't see daylight between the goals. He is a magic player.
Certainly your value for touches. Gibbs really can do the incredible. And the Dogs making mistakes when it really counts. Springer read that beautifully. Intercepted. His 30th possession. 19 kicks and 11 handballs. He's taken 10 grabs. A valuable player. Ever since the game at Prospect when Corns put him back into the centre of the ground, I haven't seen him look back. That's his home in the centre. It's where he likes to play. Chip short, and that is very loose. Coach Curley, we'll see a runner come off the bench very shortly if he's serious about getting some discipline back into this side.
Neville, I wonder if Big Super Carey here will launch one of his famous torpedo punts. Gee whiz, I saw him kick one at the Bay one day. It must have gone 90 metres fair dinkum.
Out goes the runner. I'm talking to a ruckman, I would think. Central District type. And he goes with a drop punt. The big fella can't make it. Made the distance all right, but not the accuracy as Melican thought he might have taken it. So the Bays now 11-9-75. Lead the Dogs 7-16-58.
Well, the Bays have had a chance to nail the game, but they just can't get the ball through the uprights. The kick going to drop short. Sullivan got a bad bounce. Here's a chance now, Stringer. The handball away wasn't good. Carey searching for it, so too is Allen. In goes Stringer again, and the umpire will come and ball it up inside the half-forward line. It hasn't been easy kicking for goal, either end, even though when you are kicking with the breeze, it hasn't been easy. Players finding it difficult just to judge where it's coming from and the velocity of it. Swirt lost it. Kick it goes in, so too does Marshall. And umpire Michael Abbott comes into the bounce. Still in the same spot on the half-forward line. 11-9 to 7-16. It's only a 17-point advantage, but gee, it must seem a lot to the Dogs.
Yes, it's a big score now with this breeze. There he gets the ball forward. Mansell has been busy. Good hands over to Budrick. He chips it inside, hoping someone will be in there. Kickett's first to it. Plenty of courage there against McDermott. Shy to put the body in, earned himself a free kick.
And what a game he's played today, Rocky. He's been a top player, Derek Kickett.
30 possessions as well. He's a great player. Brady now playing in front of Seabohm. That's the place to be into this breeze. Wins the possession. It's the reward he's looking for. Goes to McGrath with a poor handball. McTavish there as well. But he's semi-redeemed himself by getting a holding the man decision. So Brady from the centre. Puts it back to centre half forward. Underneath it's Steve Bickler. Lally did well to get there. Chaplin it was. Once again, we'll have another throw in. 16 minutes gone. They're certainly running out of what they need, and that's time.
Yes, the Bulldogs are still battling, but they're not bounding, and that's what they've got to do. A massive task into the breeze, but once again, the Bays just haven't got the ability to really finish it off like they ought to be doing. Brady around the corner in towards centre. Off the fingers, who's going to be first there? Stringer lost the run of it. Kick it through. In goes Wayne Stringer. They bottle the ball up, and the umpire will come and ball it up right in the centre field. 20,377 for the first semi-final, a knockout semi-final. And of course the rain and the heavy wind might have kept a lot of the patrons away. Chaplin tumbles a punt kick in towards Stringer. Off the fingers, McTavish drops it into the half-forward line. Budrick. Well, this could be it for the Dogs now. Budrick is a pretty accurate kick.
Once again, the clean hands, Ian. Doesn't drop him, does he?
One grabber. 45 metres out, wind assisted. He'll bolt the distance in. Budrick has one. And if he boots this, it could be game, set and match. Oh, the kick is offline. That's going to well offline. In fact, it's out on the full. And the Bays simply cannot finish the game off.
Glenelg forwards playing in front and getting the rewards for doing that. And once again, they cannot find a player coming out of defence. They know they've got to keep possession of the football and run it. That's the second time. Last time it went straight to Stringer, who read it well, and this time Chris McDermott. His 34th possession, the Tiger vice captain, in he comes. Sits it up high, won't make the distance in the square. Plenty of players. Graham decides not to go over the line with it. Comes back inside, grandstand side. Hodgman will be first to it. Or Wayne Stringer, in fact. Glenelg really sensing now that if they just do the work, they're bound to hang on.
They're quite happy for the ball to be out of play. Valuable seconds are ticking away and ticking them into another game in the final series against Norwood next week. Hodgman around the corner, looking for the bounce was West. With him Allen, Big Jim in there, can't get it out, he still tries to get out. Allen Botka goes for the safety of the line. Graham with the football in defence, puts it in underground. Hocking back on there, bounces it out now to Girdham, out wide, looking for Kickett. Stringer well played, Kickett with a chance. Back in there goes Marshall, they ball it up. And the umpire will come in and have a bounce just on the half-forward line for the Bays.
Desperate stuff again. Gee whiz, you'd swear the Bays were fighting for their very life out there. They really have not given an inch the entire quarter, even though they have a very handy 17-point lead with about 8 minutes to go.
A real chance, the Bays, past this game. They meet a defeated Norwood next week in the preliminary final. Girdham against Stringer. Lee in there as well. Forward they go through Hocking. Lally around the corner. Vandermaker trapped it well. Brady it was. Gave it back to Chaplin. Can he get through? He does. Sets his way towards goal. Offline, and that might be the last spark that could have got them going.
He did well then, Craig Brady, given the fact he's played most of his season centre half back. He has to revert back to the half forward line style of play, but he really sold the dummy well, came back onto his right foot and gave it every chance, but just missed. Good effort by Craig Brady.
Had that scored, would have that put the cat amongst the pigeons? Or could I say the Bulldogs amongst the Tigers? Hewitt inside the half-back line. The Bays are just going to hang on to this ball as often as they can. Kick number 12, back towards Lounder. Oh, got up very early. West cleverly done. Hodgman needs a set, he gets it. Looks for a running player, he's under pressure. Gives it away to Alan Stringer. Stringer in turn has Budrick, but he goes for length. Tumbles one in towards full forward, and it's well taken there by Gibbs. Brilliantly done, low to the turf, and he'll let the time eke out as he grabs for the foot, cramping up, but he'll take a shot from goal. Graham Campbell.
A real chance, Ian, because the man has got a magical boot and carries off the ground for Gary Christie's first run of the afternoon, would you believe? Most coaches usually use their interchange by this point in time, but Graham Corns has been well served by his entire team, so why should he change things around? Gibbs launches it off. Oh, what a kick. Oh, what a kick. I said he might get it, he did. Oh, what a goal, Ian, Dave. It's a magical goal by Ross Gibbs, almost from an oblique angle, but that's the sort of player he is. Ross Gibbs today has kicked 3 goals, and he spent half the game in the back pocket, and the other half in the forward pocket. And great coaching by Graham Corns and using the player to the best advantage during the course of the day with the breeze as it is.
Magic player Gibbs is. Number 2, a little bit of time recovering form and confidence in the twos and on the bench. Christie with his first attempt. Lounder takes it out of the ruck. He's caught. McDermott's got him, and that's holding the ball. So the Tigers well and truly in control now, and they sense it. 19th kick. Glenelg vice captain. Seabohm tries to provide space, and Seabohm did that very well as Vandermaker really didn't use much intelligence then. As he ran across his mark, he was literally intimidated into that. Really frustrated. So McDermott, forward now 15 metres, will send it right into the square. That's high. Milligan sets himself, can't take it. Sullivan will be first to it. Puts it over the top. Chaplin provides the run. His kick. You look on that far side for Thomas. He finds him. Has he held it long enough? He has.
Yes, Thomas off the half-back line to put the Dogs into attack again. Down by 22 points, and that's a massive deficit right now. Christie immediately in the action with a spoil. Marshall gives it back to Seabohm. On his wrong foot, he goes towards the half-forward line, but just manages to put it out on the full. 23 minutes gone, 12-9 to 7-17. The Dogs not giving up, but they kick themselves out of a grand final or a possible participation in a grand final with their poor kicking early in the game. Christie in front. The umpire said play on. Stibickler through. Can't get it out. Chaplin can. Van Dommel. Who's the runner? Hocking. Bounces towards the ball. Can't keep it in play. And a throw-in will take place on the half-forward left flank.
That is indicative of the Bulldogs' luck today. They just can't take a trick. When there's a loose ball to be picked up and somebody just dashes past, he often runs out of bounds or just loses possession unaccountably, and they really have had a day of the horrors.
They certainly have. Both their finals appearances have been marked by atrocious kicking for goal. One wonders what Neil Curley's pre-season training will be next year. With shots at goal from November to January, I would think. Christie sends them long, far wing, Lound run underneath, couldn't take it. Mansell at the back doing the crumbing. Graham paying him plenty of attention. Umpire calls play on. McDermott desperate. Thomas there as well. Scott Lee in. We'll have another bounce. We've played 23 minutes. And Graham Corn's heart rate would have dropped just a little bit, I would think.
Oh, yes, he'd be a confident, happy man right now, although you're never dead until you lie down. And I suppose there's still a little bit to go in this game. Christie's going to get the free kick. Christie, short to the lead now of West. He's been a focal point at centre half forward. It's not bad when you can kick four, especially those three magnificent goals in the second quarter that put the Bays where they needed to be at half-time, and that's up by 23 points. West now goes for the lead of Melican. He's bundled off it. Botka did it well, and that's a fine mark at centre half-back. 24 and a half minutes gone. The sands of time have run out for the Dogs. In 1988, as Lee bolts off, puts it to the half-back line, but there it's Marshall. Marshall now has got two players clear on the half-forward line. One was Mansell. He doesn't want him. He's going up for the big grab of Melican again. Melican in front, kick it behind, under pressure, back to Allen, and that gives it way to Chaplin.
Chaplin goes on. McAdam now. Still using possession footy, but just can't find the Guernseys behind the pack with that beautiful evasive action of his. Marshall, well intercepted though by Lally, still working hard. Play on's the calls, he pushes it into the square. Brady will get the sit and it's taken the mark. Well, 22 points behind. This will bring them back to 16. Still might be beyond them as we go into time on. It looks like Super Carey's going to come back on the ground. Butterick's limping off. In he comes, Brady, only 20 metres out. He kicks into the man on the mark, and Ian, can you believe that?
Well, as I said before, Neville, and I repeat, they've kicked themselves out of a chance for a flag. They know that. Now, Brady, who's played a lot of football in attack, ought to know that you don't kick into the man on your mark. In fact, that's one of the basic rules of football. But their poor kicking earlier in the game hasn't really given them a chance, but they've hung in there. Kick number 10 to Wayne Stringer. He goes long towards the line. Out there's Christie in front. Over the top, Lounder. The umpire said play on. Quickly onto the boot of Swert. Salisbury will need a run-up. Wayne Stringer, well smothered. Thomas. Stibickler, quite happy to run the ball across the line.
Yeah, and that last shot by Craig Brady epitomises the Bulldogs' plight today, though. They just can't take the trick. Even 15 metres out from goal, they just don't clear the bloke's hands on the mark, which is just not on.
Lost all their confidence around the goal face. Lally and McDermott do battle.
You think, Neville, they're only 21 points down. They can only reflect on what might have been. You know, they've had so much of the play, they've had their chances, and simply they haven't been good enough because their skills are down.
Yes, they've had 4 more scoring shots and That's the summary of it. They just haven't been able to convert with their opportunities. The hardest part's getting the footy. They have no troubles doing that. Chaplin reverse punt around the corner. Grimvold couldn't take it. Brady caught with the ball. Wayne Stringer happy about that result. No doubt about the Stringer boys. They'd rather have a tackle than a good feed.
They sure are competitors, Neville. And the sad, I suppose, finale of this game is that what promised so much for Central this year, they were clearly the best side for the greater portion of the year. There it is. There's the siren. Central District down by 21 points. Central 7-18-60. Trail Glenelg at the final siren by 21 points, as I said. Glenelg 12-9-81.